Good morning and welcome again to this week of Business Community Support. As we do every Thursday at 9 a.m., we bring in a variety of speakers and programs for you within our Fort Dodge area and region, and as well across the state of Iowa to help our businesses in our community. I am Cheryl O'Hearn, Spin Market with Plus Digital, and we're going to have a great program today. We've got some really cool information coming out here, and we're going to be talking about tourism and what benefits it has, and some really totally different projects and programs that are going to be coming into the Fort Dodge area. As we do every week, I want to bring on one of our hosts with this, and that's Chris Patrick. She is the executive director with Main Street Iowa, or Main Street Fort Dodge. I'm sorry. Well, you could be the executive director of Main Street Iowa, but right now you're in Fort Dodge. So anyway,
yeah, Michael's just safe. No, that would be quite the thing. No, we have a lot going on in the downtown, and Kerrie Kuiper, the director of our Fort Dodge Convention and Visitors Bureau, has shared some really great statistics with me this morning, so I'm hoping to pass those along.
Great. Okay. Well, and it's perfect for us today because we're coming out of everything. Things are picking up. Things are getting scheduled out there. People are out and about. I was at a couple of things over the last few days, even going out to eat. Was at Twin Lakes the other night on their deck, and people were just really, you just heard the enthusiasm because they can get out and about. So very exciting stuff. So let's bring on our speaker today, and that's Ethan Becker.
Good morning.
Good morning. Dungeons and Dodgers, Ethan Becker. So Ethan has, and we're going to let him talk a little bit about what he has to offer there, but Ethan has a lot of fun things coming up going forward, brings in a totally different group, not one that I'm very familiar with because I just don't do a lot of comic books, Ethan, but I'd sure like to hear about what you got going on.
Well, we do a lot of comic books, used video games, board games, other collectible trading card games, Magic the Gathering. Pokemon is really popular right now, as is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Where are you located, Ethan?
We're at 1018 Central.
1018 Central Avenue in historic downtown Fort Dodge. Okay.
Yeah. We've been in this location for about a year and a half now. We've been open for just shy of 3 years. We opened on July 9th, almost 3 years ago. We moved down to this 1018 Central location because I just needed more room, more play space, more space for our products so that we could expand due to the demand within the community.
Great. Excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So why don't you tell us about a couple of your events that you have going? You filled me in a little bit in our pre-show, and I think that's going to be a great interest. And I know Chris has some things to add along with it as well.
So our weekly events, every Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. We have open gameplay on pretty much every day, but we specialize in Magic the Gathering on Thursdays, Fridays, and then on Saturdays we started running D&D, Dungeons and Dragons again. We also have a Yu-Gi-Oh group that meets every Saturday evening, and we have a Warhammer group that is a real-time strategy game based on little miniature figures, and they meet up every Sunday morning.
Wow.
We do have a lot, and those are our weekly events. We do have a lot going on this summer, including our University of Iowa Children's Hospital fundraiser. We will have the Star Wars 501st Stormtroopers here, some Mandalorian mercenaries, and the Jedi Allegiance. There are a lot of people just like me who really like to give back to the community. They dress up in movie-accurate costumes and go to the children's hospitals or go to these fundraisers, go to our Frontier Days parade, just to put smiles on people's face. Dominic Pace, he was an actor in the first season of The Mandalorian. He's going to be here. Again, this is on July 2nd. Dominic is going to be here from 2 until 5, selling merchandise, A portion of his proceed, the merchandise sales, goes towards the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. I have 6 tickets for sale to a private dinner with Dominic Pace. The tickets are $100 a piece, and 100% of the proceeds from ticket sales goes to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. I'm donating $2,000 to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. I'm requesting a community match or exceed my donation, because I'm going to match the community donations up to $5,000 for the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. For the Star Wars fans, this is the way.
Cool. Wow. What a great story, and what a great way to promote the hospital and help those children out there as well. So tell us a little bit, who do you expect to be here on July 2nd for this program? I mean, if we were out there trying to talk about that, is there anybody else that you've heard coming in? What kind of buzz have you heard about Dominic and, or is it Dominic? Was that his name?
Dominic Pace.
Yeah,
he
Dominic
was in that first season of The Mandalorian.
There we go.
So he's connected to the Star Wars universe. We have a local representative of the 501st. That's the official stormtroopers for Lucasfilms. All of their appearances have to be all approved, and everything is approved by the mouse, so that it is in line with the Star Wars universe and everything.
Wow, great.
We're going to have some other cosplayers in, so people can come in, get their picture taken with a Jedi or a stormtrooper, meet this amazing actor, and help us raise some donations for the University of Iowa.
Excellent. Cool. So how did you get a hold of Dominic? I think you brought him in one other time as well, I believe.
He was here last year. Okay. Since I started doing the dungeon, I've tried to build our network of associates and people that I know, so that we might be able to do more cool and interesting things here in Fort Dodge. I like to think we take baby steps. Dominic and another person may not be as known as your Stephen King or your Arnold Schwarzenegger. We'll get there.
Okay. Wouldn't that be exciting out there as well? And so you have a couple other things in July and August as well that you were telling us about. Yeah.
We're going to be having a Comic-Con coming here to Fort Dodge. It's called the Quad Con. We're going to be having it at Fort Frenzy. I really feel that was a really great venue, real nice place there, and enough space to be able to accommodate a small Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. Now it's free entry. We're not going to have any real celebrities or anything at this. A lot of it are going to be comic book vendors, toy vendors, artists, some writers, some crafty people that hand make some things. Okay. There's going to be comics, toys, games. There's a costume contest. I'm going to be giving away 2 $50 gift cards to any vendor at the event. So if you have a costume contest, a Halloween costume that you wore a year or so ago, break it out of the closet, come on down, and let's have a good time. It's a free event, and that's going to be running from 10 until 4 p.m. on July 24th at Fort Frenzy. Now, and then I have another event that I can announce today. We just got all the final confirmation the other day. J.J. Cohen, he was an actor from Back to the Future and 976 Evil. He will be in the dungeon 1 week after QuadCon on July 31st. Okay. He's going to be here for about 3 hours. He's going to be selling some merchandise. A lot of people might remember him from the movie, the first Back to the Future movie. He was Biff's underling, and he gave Marty McFly a hard time about wearing a life preserver. Okay. You think you're going to drown, dork? And that's more his more infamous lines. He's going to be selling some merchandise, and a portion of his merchandise sales goes towards the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. And again, we will have 6 tickets to go to a private dinner with JJ, and 100% of the ticket sales from that goes to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital.
Great. Wow. That's a really fun full month of July there for you. That's going to be
We got a lot
exciting.
going on. And then
Yeah.
we kind of wrap up the summer with our free comic book day on August 14th. That's going to be from noon until about 6 p.m. We're giving everybody 2 free comic books each. There's going to be some giveaways. We're going to have some swag. There's a costume contest and shenanigans.
Oh, that's what I was like. I want to know what the shenanigans are going to be, but I'm sure you're keeping those a secret, right, Ethan, on that regard?
Just a
little bit. It's always good to have that suspense there and get them to come and check it out. Great. So tell us a little bit more how, in being in the downtown district, this is one of the unique businesses in our downtown, and that's what downtowns are about. Unique boutiques, unique businesses such as what Ethan at Dungeons and Dodgers brings in a whole different group, because it's a different atmosphere downtown. It's different than going to a shopping center where you have basically a mission to shop and visit all the stores. Here you really are exploring and seeing what's available out there.
Well, also the dungeon, Ethan, I think is people's second space, right? They're at home, they're at work, and then they come to the dungeon and hang out. I mean, you're a community and it's in and of itself. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
And you really kind of hit the nail on the head. We're kind of a hangout spot. Some of our guys may get off work, go home, grab some grub, throw their book back on their shoulder and come on up and see who's hanging out, see if they might be able to get play a board game with someone, talk some comics with someone. Maybe they want to see who saw the new episode of Loki yesterday and just talk about some of that. I've got a lot of our customers, they'll pop in, see who's here hanging out, and depending on who's here and what games are being played, they might run out to their car and grab their board games or their D&D books and just kind of come in and hang out.
So your space is really broken up into sections too. Can you talk about that? So if somebody
most certainly
hasn't been in before,
kind of as you walk into the dungeon, that's kind of our little retail area. You'll see all of our collectible trading cards right there, all of our board games and accessories. And then as you come into the dungeon, more about where I'm sitting, we've got a big open play table sitting right here in our main game area. Behind me over this shoulder, we got the one-eyed creepy monster looking thing there. Below that is a door that goes into our D&D room, and we've got 4 great big tables in there. We do more than just D&D in there. A lot of, like I said, Warhammer in there. There's board games, overflow gaming. On this side here, we've got a comic hall. That's where most all of our comic books are, all of our Dungeons and Dragons books, miniatures, paints, paint brushes to paint up their miniatures. And then at the end of that comic hall, I have a whole nother event room that kind of takes up a large portion of the footprint of the building here.
Now you have about 5,000 square feet, don't you?
We have between 5,000 and 6,000 square feet. There's a lot of gaming area. I think right now we've got about 45 chairs open. We are still asking people to give people extra distance if you're not familiar with them, kind of social distance when possible. But it can be a little difficult when we're all trying to play Sorry or Hungry Hungry Hippos. We do draw in people, as Cheryl and Chris had mentioned, we do draw in people from a lot of different areas. The events between Dominic Pace, the QuadCon, Free Comic Book Day, my regular customers will typically come from anywhere from Cherokee Carroll, Boone, up in Burt, and in Hancock County and Kasuth County. Originally, when we started, it was really just kind of Webster County and some of those original surrounding counties. But as we're hitting close to this 3-year mark, I can really see that a lot of our customers come from this whole Northwest Iowa area.
Right. Well, and that's the beauty of once you get going and that word gets out, because with digital marketing and the type of things that you do, it is a lot of word of mouth and them posting and sharing and letting people know what you have available there as well. So what kind of other plans do you have in the future, Ethan? Anything else in the 6 to 12 month range coming up here?
I still have a few things. I'm always got irons in the fire, always have plans I'm working on. And what allowed me to be able to have a lot of this flexibility was participating in the Open for Business contest last year. We were one of the state finalists that helped us get $18,000 in grant money from the state of Iowa to help expand and fulfill the vision that I have for the dungeon. That's helped us get different product lines. That's going to allow us to have more comfortable seating, because average amount of time that one of my customers is in the dungeon is about 4 hours. And we like to have comfortable accommodations when people are in the dungeon. Our landlord has been really great with certain little building improvements or just tweaking little things so that we can make a comfortable gaming experience for everybody that comes in.
Great. Chris, I know you've got lots of things that Kerrie passed on to you, as well as with being the executive director of Main Street Fort Dodge. We always have activities going on. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to you for a little bit here.
Sure. Well, I have a few more things I want to talk about with Ethan, simply because he really doesn't toot his own horn. During COVID, he really, I hate the word, but I'll use it anyway, pivoted. It's so overused. He was really fluid in his marketing, and he went online, and he has a really good online store. Do you want to talk about how you are utilizing that kind of merchandising and how that's impacted your sales?
In our day and age, especially in the height of the COVID pandemic, we really did need to try to change the way we were trying to interact with our customers. I know that a lot of our local customers, they like coming in and stopping in. So we opened up our Square space so that our customers could browse some of the things that we had in stock. And I was making deliveries. I was doing curbside pickup. We increased how much product we ship. I ship through a couple different online platforms, so people know that they can purchase product from us through tcgplayer.com or through our eBay store, or through our website. So kind of trying to handle and manage all of that, it is and was a task, but as I mentioned to Cheryl, we always have a couple different irons in the fire, trying to make things a little bit more efficient and easier for the customer to see our products.
Well, thank you, Ethan. No, I am really pleased that you were one of the finalists for the Open for Business contest, and thank you for being our entry through Main Street Fort Dodge. We really appreciate the fact that you choose to be downtown.
It was a good experience. Being a first-time business owner, it really forced me to look at my business in a light that I hadn't done previously. Participating in the Open for Business and the challenge that COVID presented to us, I really feel made us stronger, gave us a better foundation going forward for the community. Because a lot of what we do is the community. I mentioned in my Facebook post yesterday, letting people know to come watch this today. We're just without the Dodgers, we're just a dungeon. And I tell you, I'm here all the time. It kind of can be a dungeon sometimes. But the customers that come in, they give it that spirit, that life that if you're about my age, you remember watching the show Cheers, and when the guy would come in, the whole bar would erupt. Norm. We have that kind of atmosphere, that kind of life within the dungeon.
That is wonderful. I'm so glad Fort Dodge has a place for people who really love gaming and board games to go and hang out and be really social. Another thing that
pop culture altogether.
It is. Absolutely. Well, I also want to thank you for being one of our sponsors. You're sponsoring all three of our lunches on the square. So the first one is going to be this month in June. It's Friday, June 25th from 11:30 to 1. There's that flyer. Perfect. So we have a lot of sponsors. We have 9 sponsors for the first lunch, and they are all retailers in the downtown, including Ethan. We have Gabe Pettit. I know I'm going to miss somebody because I can't read that small printing, but Rush Hour Clothing, Real Deals, Mary Kay, the Dairyette. I really want to thank Jo Seltz because she's really coordinating the food for this first lunch on the square after COVID. And I will pull that flyer up, Cheryl, so you don't have to hold it up. Here's mine. I found it. The ones that I didn't mention were Mary Kay's Gifts at Home Decor in Rural Norman, River Hops Brewing. Also, Ron is participating. Studio Fusion, and then and I did say Rush Hour Clothing. So those are our sponsors this month. And then Clint Rydell from the Blue Ribbon Ramblers will be playing music from noon to 1 o'clock. So we hope that we have a good crowd. We'll be serving pulled chicken sandwiches, potato chips, potato salad, dessert, and a water. It's $6. So where else can you come for a musical lunch for $6? See your friends. We are going to practice social distancing. We'll have a lot more hand washing stations, and even masks for those people who really can't maybe be as far away from the people as they want. We have masks for the public too. So we're trying to cover all of our bases.
Well, and you also have carry out for that as well. If a business owner would like to bring lunch, have lunch for their staff, they more than welcome to call ahead or stop by and pick up carry out. So it's not just only going to be on the square, although if you haven't had the opportunity to go out on a beautiful day during your lunch hour to the square, it's gorgeous with all the trees and the atmosphere. It's just really a delight. And a lot of and live music with it. And a lot of the businesses in that area have done new facades and or are working on new facades. So it's just a real, and of course you got the library right there as well.
Right. And it's so cool. It's interesting how you can be a block away and you're walking down the street and it feels so hot and humid. And then you walk into the park and those trees make all the difference. You'll be eating under the trees, so it's nice and cool. There's a breeze usually, and it's just a really good way to get back outside in a safe environment. I have some great food. The next lunch on the square is going to be July 30th, and then the final one will be August 27th, the day before our Farm to Fork. So we're being pretty tenacious, having 2 events side by side, but it will be a great summer. We have lots going on. And just like, Ethan had mentioned, he has so many events through the dungeon. River Hops Brewing has events, almost every week. They have live music all the time. Ron has got some great events going on. Shiny Top at the other end of the district, they're brewing. They have live music every week. And then the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Gallery is having a student exhibition show on the 19th, the same day that we are doing our Pick It Up Fort Dodge receptacle unveiling. So all of those things are really, really great. And we'll talk about the receptacles in a minute. I did want to share these stats that Kerrie Kuiper from the CVB shared with me. In 2020, travel-generated expenditures in Webster County were $74.83 per person, and And that was in 2018. So Kerrie, I'm sorry, I'm not doing a really good job. The breakdown of 2019 visitor spending in Webster County during 2018 totaled $75.49 million. That's what I was thinking. So that is an incredible amount of money in Webster County through tourism. Again, $49 million in tourism. And it breaks down as $7.47 million for recreation and entertainment. $16 million was spent on food in Webster County. $5.4 million was spent on retail. So again, talking about how retail can have an impact on tourism, and definitely tourism has a huge impact on economic development in any community and county throughout the United States, not just in Iowa. And transportation, $28.3 million. Think about the gas that they're buying and all the other things that goes along with that as people travel. And then lodging was 9.1 for the county. The other thing I wanted to mention was in 2019, Webster County had 1.6% of the Iowa travel market share, and they ranked 14 out of Iowa's counties. Remember, we have 99 counties. So I think Webster County did really well. 14. Polk County was at 28%. Let's see what some of the other ones around here were at. Woodbury was 3.2. Kossuth was 1.4. Dickinson was 1.6, so they're not too far away. So as you can see, we really do pull in tourism, not just for the Harlan Rogers Sports Complex, but for the OHV Park, the river, the
Frontier Days.
Yeah, exactly. And then the kayaking industry that's really getting started too. So just a few little stats from Kerrie. She does it much better than I do because she's the director of the CVB.
Well, and those when you start throwing those numbers out to let people know what's actually being spent, that's when it really resonates. You don't drive by it. Oh, well, there's a lot of cars in the this hotel or whatever it may be. But you don't realize the dollars that go along with it and the other dollars, not just the hotel dollars, but the dollars that they spend because they needed to go and purchase something or they went to the grocery store or whatever. But because they came into town, because there was an event that Ethan put together, we need to find out of that $75 million, Ethan, how much you're going to generate on July 2nd off of that. Wouldn't that be fun to actually be able to figure that out?
To be able to quantify that would be interesting to see how that all wraps out.
And I'm not quite for sure how you would do it, but that would just, if you just see from, it's easy for us to figure out the dollars that come in from the softball tournament, which, is huge every year, or celebration or those type of things. A little bit easier because it's more of a, it has better tracking just because of the size of it and the establishment. But people don't realize that just little events like yours, which isn't little because you're bringing in big names, but those type of events have huge impacts as well. And I know when I have done events like with Market on Central or whatever, everybody was worried about, well, there's such and such going on the day, so then you don't want to do anything. That's not necessarily true.
Incorrect.
Yes and no.
Yes and no, right. It depends on what it is.
It depends on the events, but I don't worry about too much of what other people are going to do. We're going to run our events. Mm-hmm. If it coincides with something, maybe you do come to see Dominic Pace on July 2nd and end up going out to see the celebration after it.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So those are things that it all works together, and having that variety, that's the big thing, the variety out there, the different opportunities for not only adults, but for children. Because even, your Dungeons and Dodgers, there's a lot of great things with the games that you could play with your kids there. So it makes it both an adult and a family-oriented location.
Well, we have across the United States, the statistics really show that people want that experiential experience. They want to be hands-on. Let's do something. I don't want to just walk into a store and buy by a top. I want somebody to greet me, and I want to have this really fun experience, whether it's in the dungeon, whether it's purchasing clothes, whether it is going down the bike trail and being able to see the etching posts that my kids can play with through the CVB project, where they can get their little notebook out and trace those etchings. There's so many different things that can be packaged together to have day itineraries, and CVB is really great about that. Main Street is developing those types of experiences for people coming downtown, not just looking at the architecture, but how they can really package a day. If the weather's not the best and they can't be biking all day, what else can you be doing? In 2020, Webster County welcomed 361,958 travelers. So again, that's a big number. We don't see those, of course, all in one day. And so as just a regular resident, I might not understand that impact. And then Iowa welcomed 29,036,881 travelers in the state. So huge amount of tourism going on in Iowa. And, we expect to see that really boost up with people being isolated so much over the last, 12 to 16 months. So RAGBRAI coming in, we're expecting 15 to 20,000 people in the downtown. Of course, they're not going to be just in the downtown. They'll be spread out throughout the community. Then that again is July 26th. So we want to make sure that if you have a great yard, front or back, we are still needing housing for people. And the steering committee, we cannot directly connect people this year, and that is a RAGBRAI requirement. So we do have a website where people can go on and they can pair themselves for that housing component. So we're really encouraging our residents here in Fort Dodge to sign up so those people have a good yard to stay in. We don't want them in your house. We want them in your yard. So please jump on board and help us out with that.
Right.
So
we have a great
I know I've had a bunch of people from Chicago contacting me wondering where to go, and I've passed them on that are going to be on RAGBRAI. So everybody needs to be sure to direct them there. That's important.
Right. So Ethan, what were you going to say?
Oh, it's a really great community here. So reach out. Maybe we can get that link posted or that phone number posted after this.
Yeah, definitely we can do that link. And if all of the people that see this would share that link, that would be fabulous. The more it gets shared, the more people understand what's going on and have that opportunity to host some of those RAGBRAI people. They are so much fun. When they came through Sheraton, we did that, and it was really a blast. We had a good time.
Once we get done with this, I will post it on the Main Street and Spin Market Facebook page where to go as well. And then Ethan, if you want to take that and share it. Again, share it, people. We will post it, share it, and engage on it and pass that information on, because it's hard to believe that we're only just a little bit over a month away from RAGBRAI. And, 4th of July is just a couple weeks away. So summer's going fast. We need to get the word out.
It really is. So let's talk about Pick It Up Fort Dodge for just a few minutes. I don't know if we had a slide for that or not, but I
do at the very end, because that's our program for next week on there. But yeah, Let's talk about it. Yeah, we'll go into more in depth next week on it, but it's an important part of us to pass on today as well. Yep.
We just want people to remember that we did have an Iowa Art Council grant. It was for $10,000. We leveraged that money into a $40,000 project to create 26 receptacles, and 22 of those will be placed throughout the downtown with the Pick It Up Fort Dodge logo. And those were created and in part designed by the industrial tech kids from Fort Dodge High School under the direction of Andy Kavanaugh, and we can't thank Andy enough. Jim Hojak, our design chair at the time, was the one who used the CAD programs to actually create all of the specs for that. So he spent a great deal of time. It was COVID, so we ended up having a virtual art contest for that great arrow that you see on the screen. And we had 36 entries. Unfortunately, we only have the 26 receptacles. So we're going to be unveiling those on the 19th, along with inviting the students and their families to be there so we can do a live walkthrough of the downtown. And we encourage people to come out on the 19th. There will be a drawing for a great basket full of products from our downtown retailers. And then Fort Dodge Fine Arts has their student exhibition show that day also. So people can come down, enjoy the art, throw their trash in those great containers, and then stop into the gallery on the 900 block of Central Avenue and see those artists and get to know those kids too. So we're really excited about that.
And I think one of the fun things that's going to be keep them coming back down here on this Pick It Up Fort Dodge campaign is the QR codes that you guys are putting together. So the parents can actually go and send out the QR code to family members or whatever and say, hey, go downtown and see my child's artwork. And it'll show them exactly where that piece is going to be at.
Absolutely. And thank you to Spin Market, Cheryl, and your interns for really making that happen.
Rachel, well, I've already warned her, and I say that in a very nice way. She's got a whole week to come up with her program that she's going to help us with next week on the Pick It Up, and telling everybody about it as well. So it's exciting. It's a fun, innovative project. It's the creativity behind it. First of all, yes, we need trash receptacles out there, but what better way other than adding that art component there and then incorporating the kids on it and making it into an entire event type of thing. I think it's a great idea. I think it's just fun and totally different.
And this is not the end of that project either. I mean, there are 5 components into that project. So we're still continuing our dumpster mural painting. So if anybody's interested in that project, please reach out, go through our website. There are the applications on there, or you can contact me or Shelley Bodarf directly to do that, because we're hoping to get that up and going and have painted dumpsters throughout the downtown. The Iowa Restaurant Association yesterday, so I'm switching gears.
I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. I have another meeting I got to get to today. Thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We go to Dungeons and Dodgers to find out more about on his Facebook page as well. Okay, Chris, we'll go back.
Well, I just wanted to remind everybody that's in the hospitality industry that an additional $60 billion could be added to the restaurant revitalization funding. So if you get that email from the Iowa Restaurant Association, you can click on that button and help support that bill that will be brought to the floor and debate for that. Again, $60 billion of restaurant support. We really can't talk enough about how so many restaurants now really need that drive-through window or that pickup lane, because they're still going out and delivering into cars. Unfortunately, COVID is not over. So we are still having to be careful and find new ways for businesses to be successful. So whether it's through this $60 billion or local incentives to help with that, we really do encourage the community to support those efforts that the city, Main Street, and the Development Corporation are doing with our business owners and small business development centers too. We can never talk enough about what Kim and Darcy are doing. They are fabulous.
Right. And unfortunately, they couldn't join us today at the last minute. Same way Jed Burns, the general manager with Alpha Media, at the last minute contacted us and say, Cheryl, my 8:00 meeting is running over. But that's the world that we're in. We come here every week with the idea of just getting you that information. And because we do it live stream and because we leave it online, you can hop on at any time and watch it out there and get some great information. Like we said, next week we're going to be talking about Pick It Up Fort Dodge. What other things are going on in the downtown area, Chris, that we need to fill everybody in on?
Well, sure. So we actually are almost to the end of our facade project. We're still waiting on some of those awnings, the last 2 awnings to be sent and then installed. We're hoping that's going to happen sometime next week or at the very latest the week after that. The city staff and I are working on another downtown revitalization application for the 900 through 700 blocks of Central Avenue. Another set of buildings to be rehabilitated and make sure that the structures are sound on those. You never know what's hiding behind some of that brick or some of that wooden plywood that you'll see on buildings sometimes. So I think it's very important to save our buildings now and not wait. It's so easy to tear things down and not really be able to reflect on, the history that you're truly losing when you do that. Also, gosh, there's so much, Cheryl. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. A lot of the retailers are holding specials this week, so it would be a really good weekend to come downtown and walk through our stores, starting at 13th Street all the way down to Real Deals on 3rd Street behind the library. Lots of those things. There's live music tonight at Shiny Top, so stop in there. Ron usually has live music on Saturdays, so check out that website, which is River Hops Brewing, and you can check them out on Facebook too. All of their events are online.
Well, and also, I'm going to throw it in again, the interactive map. You can go to the website of Main Street Fort Dodge. And if you want to know what type of businesses and stores are downtown, what type of retail stores are downtown, they're all on that interactive map. So you can click the retail section and all of those will show up on there, the Real Deals and the Rush Hour and, Tilly's Quilt.
Creations. Yeah, absolutely. Even the newest buildings. We did update that list a month ago. So unless a new business has popped in the district within the last 30 days, they are definitely on that map. Like I said, and it is a great tool. Just as Cheryl mentioned, and we want to thank Spin Market again for helping us out with that. That was one of our efforts for COVID recovery last year. In March of 2020 is when we started working on that. So Main Street, Small Business Development Center, Spin Market, Alpha Media, we are all here to help support the businesses in the community, whether it's downtown or out in the county. So lots going on.
It's really a partnership between all of us out there because there's certain tools and connections that we're able to bring to the mix, and it's always refreshing when we get together and talk about certain ideas, like the video that we're working on for the Iowa Unite video contest. Again, got together and started really putting together some plans and keep our fingers crossed. We got a short timeline to get it done, but I think it's only 60 seconds, 1 minute video. That still takes a lot of work, you guys. You think it's 1 minute, but there's still a lot of work in that. We're excited to put that together as well.
Well, and then the real work comes in because then we need everybody in the county to be voting for our video. So we will win that work from Ben Shu, who actually is a Fort Dodge native. So
yes.
That would be miraculous if we were able to get him to come and actually paint a mural in his hometown. I mean, how great is that?
Yeah, so he has a beautiful mural in downtown Des Moines that they've got up on the information about it. And believe me, there will be a lot more coming. We'll be spreading the word here shortly on what it is because we're just getting things together. I think it has to be done by the 22nd to get it submitted. And then we will really be pushing as well to let everybody know what we're doing and getting it out there and telling everybody about what Fort Dodge has to offer. We've got to toot our own horn. We've got to let people know, and we have digital out there and newspaper and radio and all those other elements there. And you as individuals, you really, that click that you make can be do a huge impact in getting that information out there.
So true. So voting will start on that on June 23rd and run through the 30th. So at 5 p.m. on June 30th, the voting stops, and whoever has the most votes at that second will win that contest. And we want it to be Fort Dodge.
Yes, definitely. So believe me, we will be promoting it and pushing it out there because we want to give it a good run for our money. Well, again, we're getting close to the hour. Everybody says, "Well, is it going to be enough time?" Well, when we started out, we didn't think we'd be able to cover an hour, and it's not usually very many that we end up being short on. And I know if we had Jed and Darcy on today, we would have totally filled the hour. But yes, again, we are here every Thursday at 9 a.m. on the Facebook page for Main Street Fort Dodge live stream there, and it's also on Alpha Media's YouTube channel. And of course, we share it and send it out there as well. We're here just to provide information and keep our community up to date on what's going on in real time and show them what's going on there. And if you, as a business or have an activity, anybody out there, please contact us. Contact Chris at mainstreetfd.org, I believe. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Correct, on there for her email address, and let her know what you want, and she'll get back to us, and we'll see what we can do to get you on a program, and just tell what's great about our community. I mean, when I look at this picture behind us, isn't that fun? All those buildings like that. Who would have thought that was, if you didn't know that, I guarantee you, if we had this type of a photo out there across the United States, everybody going, wow, look at that architecture. How cool is that? It'd be a big draw.
Take it for granted. Yeah, definitely. No.
And, we just got done doing a photo shoot here this morning at 7 o'clock. And that was one of the things that I left everybody there with, is saying, look at it with fresh eyes. Come up, think about it totally different than us just going in and doing a photo shoot. So make it interesting and come up with some new stuff. So
I have one more thing I wanted to shout out to our new intern. I almost forgot. We will be introducing her on the show next week to everybody. Her name is Morgan, and I'm going to mispronounce her last name. Prekelis, and she's working for the CBB and Main Street. So we're really lucky to have her this summer before she goes back to UNI. So just a shout out to what she's been doing already for us just in one day. It's been great.
Yeah. Very fun. Interns are great. We love them. So yeah, we'll be having 2 interns. We'll have Rachel and Morgan on next week.
Yeah.
That's going to be a full show. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Again, this is brought to you every week by Alpha Media. Jed Burns, market manager, is usually our man of the hour and the gentleman that handles all of this for us to keep that program going. Kimberly Tiefenhauer and Darcy Swan, both with the North Central Iowa Small Business Development Center. Of course, Chris Patrick, who you've had the privilege of hearing today about all that's going on downtown, the executive director with Fort Dodge Main Street. And I am Cheryl O'Hearn, digital marketing specialist with Spin Market Plus Digital. Again, next Thursday, 9 a.m., we will be there, but you can always catch us online by just going and pulling up that information. We also take this and make it into a vlog on the Main Street website as well. So we just keep that information out there all the time, because that's what it is all about in the digital world. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week, and enjoy your weekend, and we will be back next Thursday. Bye, Chris.